Hey, awesome friends, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about the most beautiful headphone that I have ever tried. I think it's up there. These things are beautiful. They're gorgeous, but the sound on the other hand, well, let's get into that. So a quick thank you to Roseselsa for providing the Distant Mountain for review. Thank you for making the video possible. So the Distant Mountain is on-ear headphones. We don't get very many on-ear headphones. So I was really excited to actually try these out. These come in at $69.99 and they have a 40mm dynamic driver. Unboxing for the Distant Mountain was pretty fun, though it did feel a little bit too much. It's not like you get very many accessories here. You get the headphones themselves, you get a cable, which the cable was okay. I didn't like it that much, and it does feel like it kind of doesn't match the headphones themselves, at least this colorway. Then you get an extra set of ear pads with the center cut out, so they're like donut foams. And randomly you get a stand, an acrylic waifu stand. I wasn't expecting it. There's nothing on the box. There was nothing, indicating that this was, directed towards weebs, you degenerates out there. So I got waifu jump scared as I was going through the unboxing. The headphones themselves are very nicely built. They feel sturdy, they have decent heft to them, they're not too heavy, and clamp force for me was okay. I know it's going to be different for everybody, but the pressure on the ears, because they are on ear, not over ear or in ear. Man, we do a lot of things to ears, huh? For me, they were comfortable. I do love the look of this specific colorway. It's just beautiful. As for the sound impressions, that is another story. Unfortunately, these overall just aren't that great. Turns out there is a huge spike going into the upper mids and lower treble, mostly in the upper mids, quite a bit. So the overall sound signature is just very piercing, a little unnatural, and just intense, which really sucks because the bass was okay. Like it extended well, decent balanced presentation, not more emphasis in the sub or more emphasis in the mid. And then lower mids, very similar, just pretty level. And then you get into the upper mid range, so that pushes a lot of like female vocals or a lot of the sharper stuff forward, and there's a lot of bite, a lot of aggressiveness. Also messes with timbre quite a bit, makes things sound overly metallic. There's that metallic sheen and hue overall, and then also just good amount of sibilance. You get into the treble, which again was very similar to the bass, just kind of chill, extends okay, overshadowed by the upper mids. It is a real shame that the mids are pushed forward so much. It takes all the attention. Now, unfortunately, in its current state, I cannot recommend the Distant Mountain. So rec rating here would be 0. There is other options that you can get for an on-ear headphone, but since I have these here and I love how they look, they're just so beautiful, I went ahead and tried to cope these. So trying to cope this set, which is something you should never have to do. Do not cope a set. That is something that we shouldn't have to do ever. You buy something, you should be satisfied. If not, then you don't keep it. But the Distant Mountain has a few things going for it as far as form factor goes. It has the removable cable. So, if a certain orange cat ever gets a hold of these, I can replace the cable. It is MMCX connectors, which a lot of people hate. I'm not entirely sure why. I haven't had any issues with that connector yet. Form factor is really nice. It is, more portable and lightweight than a full-size headphone, but also not intrusive or isolating like an IEM. And then at the same time, more secure, at least in my experience, than flatheads. Flatheads, I fit them easy, but they tend to fall out like on the go. So the first option that I looked at in order to cope this set is the most obvious one: EQ. Ew. Go ahead and leave a comment if you think that EQ is a sin. So immediately I was just like, no, I'm not going to EQ. I don't like EQ. It does not travel with you. You EQ on a device or source, and then if you unplug the headphone and put it somewhere else, the EQ is not there. It doesn't save on headphone. So I have to either re-EQ or just do without. What if I plug into something that can't EQ? Yeah, it just, that does not work for me. So quickly EQ was out of the window. So the next thing I did was there's this joke that one of our homies, Sword of Sword and Board, I'll go ahead and leave the link to his channel. He does some audio reviews and he's doing some other cool stuff. He always makes the joke of using like paper towels to tune a headphone or anything, but make sure that they're used. Well, I didn't have any used paper towels on hand, so I just took some clean ones, and I measured out the paper towels to match the foams, and then I tucked them in to the foams and then put that on the headphones. So I'll have some pictures up, and that actually helped quite a bit. So it really helped with that upper mid-range intensity, but it also kind of just blurred things a little bit more together, dulled it a little bit, especially lower mid-range. It just felt kind of blurry, a little smeared, but a lot better than stock. I did hear that Roseselsa was looking at modifying on this platform and maybe retuning these, which would be really great. Like I said, I love the form factor of the build, just the sound needs a little bit more work. Like I mentioned, rec rating 0. Maybe try them out for yourself if you are a shout piercing lover. Pause. And that's it from me, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, you stay awesome, friends. Bye.